up, it's the Topaz and the Jets. We got the vibe, burn it up just like that. Come on, Machinko's place where the party goes wild. Feel the groove, let the rhythm run wild. Topaz in the chat, make it swing. Join the crew, let your spirit sing. Feel the night, let the good times roll. Topaz in the zone, taking control.
Jammers in the house tonight, bringing love and lighting up the night. Feel the rhythm, everything's alright. Dancing close, hearts are intertwined. Oh, jammers in the house, we'll keep it tight. Feel the synth pop, everything's so bright. Oh, jammers in the house, our love ignites. Dance together through this endless night.
Rem the cat just rolled on in, soaring irons and a cheeky grin. Jumpers, boards, and wires fly. Old school tech is reached sky high. Flit the switches like a neon glow. Watch the CRT put on a show. From beeps and buzz to rat to rings, pump the bat on dog cap to the string.
Capacitors hum, resistors sing, vintage jukes do their thing. Grab your toolkit, join the team. Rem the cat sparks up the stream.
Covers in the house. Party starting now. Feel the rhythm pushing, pushing, pushing. Let's make this night fun. Dance like never. We are the power, let the energy flow. Come on and dance together, baby. We still got a show.
Neon pages on floppy wings. Vocal types and binary bling. Capacitors doing jazz hands. Resistors juggling tiny rubber bands. CRT screen start to giggle. Keyboard keys do a little wiggle. So the smoke smells like bubble gum. That vocal hits on here. Comes a hum.
Right, now all that bloody noise is finished with, I think it's time to start. Right, yes, in case you're wondering what we're doing today. Where are we? I want that one there. Hey! Nerf. Yep. New bloody noise, yep. It's ham, egg, scope time. That's what the topic is today, ham, egg, scope. I thought I'd get all cryptic with emojis today, just for the hell of it. Familiar noise. It almost looks clean, yeah. Hey, you haven't seen anything yet. We've had nice weather today, so I've been out with the hose pipe. Out with the hose pipe. And the wire wool. It's clean. This was all shite here before. This whole section was just crusty horribleness. Now there's just a little bit of rust there. A ham, egg, scope. This is a ham, egg, scope. If I can focus, which I can't. Ham, egg, HM203-6. Oscilloscope. A ham, egg, scope. The hose and steel wool. Got it, yep. It's a typical Saturday night for you, that, isn't it? Caught incurable mouth shit diseases. No, I've been washing hose in bikinis. In a bikini. Right. It's all gone strange for a moment. Where are we? Microphone. A number of yaks in scuba gear enter the village pond, watched by an audience of excited goats. The pondside support team start to take delivery of chunks of wrecked Starship, despite the pond only being 50 feet across. One section contains a number of people in stasis. Another section opens and a human emerges, looks around, collapses to her knees and begins to sob while hugging the ground. The goats and yaks are mystified because the pond, apart from being small, isn't very deep. Hello, Hot Rocks. Hello, yaks. Ah, right. What I should do, I suppose, is rewind and say hello to everyone. That is the custom. Hello, Dopaz. Hello, Ben. Hello, Remy Cap. Hello, Cobb. Hello, Daft Punkle. Hello, G-Pin. Hello, Trade Splatter. Hello, Hot Rocks. Hello, Carrot House. I've lost track of who I've said hello to now. I think that's everyone. Hello, everybody else who I've not said hello to. Focus, Majenko, focus. Yes. This is almost clean. I know this chassis is still grotty as hell. But I'm not going to strip it right down to the bare chassis.
Am I?
And I'm not.
Yes, I'm an idiot.
Yep, absolutely I am. So I'm not going to be polishing the internal chassis because it's pointless. And I'm not going to strip it down to bare metal, and I'm not going to attack it with wire wool with all the circuitry in there. Plus, I'm too lazy. But the outside is clean, and that's the important thing. You want just the wah 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 trombone, do you? That could be done, yes. So what I want to do today is finish off putting it back together a bit and see if we can test it in some way. See if it explodes when I plug it in. which is highly likely given the amount of mouse shit that was inside it. Right, so what we need to do is connect up the transformer. I've got the wires at the front there are done. There's this connector for the front panel for the calibration. Needs putting back in place. The front panel needs putting back on along with its wires. And I think there's a few other bits and pieces around the place that need soldering in, but I can't remember offhand. So we'll deal with those when we come across them. It won't work. There will be flames before bedtime. I'm inclined to agree with you. I do have the fire extinguisher handy. But because of the nadgering that I did to the power switch, it'll only be momentary testing anyway. Unless I bypass the power switch, which is a possibility. I could physically bypass it so it's always on. Convert channel points to Majenko credit redeem, then give you fart trombone Duke idiot commands to take parameters. Eee, that could be done. That could be done. Yeah. That could very well be done. Yeah. That is a good idea, actually. Maybe we'll do that one day. Not today, because I want to do this. I've also got a bit of cleaning that I do want to do on this. These pegs at the back that the case screws into are green. So I would like to clean those up before putting it all back together as well. They're brass and they're crusty, which means they're green. Bacon rashers, yes. You won't distract me with different topics, though. I am too disciplined for that. Right, so first things first. I need to get my phone. I think we should connect up the transformer first. Someone say discipline. Right. There's my image of the back. So it's yellow, purpley, red, and then whatever colour those are supposed to be. This is going to be awkward. How am I going to get to this? I think that's the best way. So let's see about pulling this up here a bit so we can see. And brighten it up a bit. No, wrong way. Let's try 12. That's a bit better. Awkward red mice is the safe word today, is it? Fair enough. Not banana. I thought the safe word was always banana. Right, I need some better glasses on. I told you. Right, that's better. I can see the wires now. Oh yes. Okay, soldering iron has warmed up. So I guess we start soldering. One wire connected. I mean, it never really smelt of anything in the first place, to be honest. It was just dirty. It just didn't really smell of much.
Goat
The
Master.
dream?
Oh,
A
seriously.
misunderstanding?
Duffman Cole.
A matter
That's
of
that
time?
subtly pathetic.
Finish that
Just
thought.
what are
let
you-
How I can
Tech
help.
once.
What are you talking about?
Do you understand? This is a complete and utter disaster.
I leant on my phone and suddenly kicked Gemini off. I had two bots wittering at me at the same time. Okay, I think that's sort of connected. That one isn't. It's gone the wrong way, hasn't it? It's a Chloe! Hello, Chloe.
She's in the zone, tapping away. She's got her own throne, buzzing keyboards, wires go. Welcome to my jungle.
It's a complete and utter disaster for once the bot has recognised itself. Yep.
She's ready to strike, dancing on streams. Cutie like raccoon power, shining bright. Second tunes, all through the night.
That's better. That's properly fixed. Okay, then it's white and black-ish. You love the unpronounceable stream title, even Master has rendered it as blank. It's Ham Egg Scope. It's obvious what it is. Ham Egg Scope. This is not wanting to go too well, this one.
Goat Master. Absolutely horrifying.
Chloe Raccoon's puns are a slur, agonising descent into madness.
Your babbling is a full-blown immediate plunge.
Don't even try to deny it. Shove. Oh, seriously. Exclamation tips.
Let's put a bit of fresh solder down on here if I can see it. Are Amex still pissing you off, Chloe? That's not a happy connection. It's getting a bit tight down here. That's a bit crusty, that wire, but I can't do anything about it really. Let's do it from the other side, shall we? As the actress said to the bishop. Doesn't want to go. That is getting very frilly, that wire. Let's see if we can do something more about it. Why they couldn't have put plugs on here, I don't know. They had invented plugs by the early 80s, I'm sure. Right, let's see if I can get this to actually stick this time. With more than one strand of wire. There we go. That'll do. Just keep hitting 0, Chloe. Just hit 0 over and over again. You'll eventually get through to a human, or theoretically anyway. Right. That's wired in. Let's get some little bit of wire wool. Yeah, let's have the human a few zeros for good measure. Yeah, so you just do it again, and then again, and again, and eventually it should give up and take you through to a human. I need to clean this bit, it's rather green. Yeah, human in which country though? Yeah, good point. Now, one slight problem is this has broken, it's perished and snapped. And we've lost the bit that screws it onto the side here. So it's not an ideal mounting solution at the moment, this. But it'll do for the moment for testing. You'd either Scotland or USA. Scotland, that's worse indeed. You win a pig. Right. One other added complication is I'm not sure where the bolt is, the nut is for that. I took it off at the end of Sunday's, or towards the end of Sunday's stream, and then got distracted looking for a new switch, And I'm not sure what I did with the nut. It's probably under the bed. But I certainly can't see it kicking around on my desk here. And I don't think it's in my box of all the nuts and screws and things that I took off. No, it's not. Which kind of sucks. Yeah, God, what have you done with my nut? Let's see if we've got a spare. I've got a bag of nuts here. Let's try this one. I'm thinking that one's a little bit small. Oh, it's close. Spare nuts are best nuts. Yep. No. Too big. Yay, found one. Always keep hold of your nuts, that's what I say. Never throw out a good nut. Now we can't get this on because it's all too tight. There's no room to actually get it in the right position. And that's cross-threaded. Let's get it straight. Come on you go. Definitely went on just now. I've gone and got it cross-threaded, which has kind of nudged the thread slightly, hasn't it? Forceps, yes. Can't beat forceps. Hemostatic forceps, or hemostats if you're American. They're great for getting your nuts in the right place. Usually use briefs for that yet. Eight steps would top it, yeah. They're a bit square, those are, though. Okay, that's on well enough. Screwdriver is over here. That's on well enough. Doesn't need the other one really. It'll do. Hey Beta Mink, we are putting back together the ham egg oscilloscope. Right, while we're around the back here, let's have a look at the crusty bits. That sounds like a swarm to me. Hello, swarm. There's one of the crusty bits. Let's see if I can find something to turn them with. That feels like a good size. Is that better or not? That's an even better size. There we go. And it's just got a nut on the other side. In fact, no, it is a nut. It has a bolt on the other side. Let's do the same with the other one. I can't zoom in any further, can I? Oh, I can a bit. There they are. I think that's focused. What I want for this, I think, is a bit of vinegar. Oh yeah, look at that fizz. I know you can't see that fizz, but I can see that fizz. That is nicely fizzing. Fizz buzz! Let's see if I can do this. I go there. I go there. Are you going to focus? No. Let's see if I can change to that one. No. That one. That's a bit better. one's still fizzing a bit there. It's hard to make it out, isn't it? Someone joining now is going to be very confused. You mean you're not confused? Let's see if I can find where I'm squirting. I think you might just be able to make out a bit of fizzing going on there. Yeah, it's not very good, this camera. It's not a great camera, that one. Let's get the old wire wool out now then. It's fizzing nicely, that one there though. Ben's always confused though. I really should have my gloves on for this, shouldn't I? Ugh. It's probably a bit late for that now. Okay, Cobb, bend over. Sometimes you're not confused, sometimes you're hungry. Fair enough. You're ready. Who let the frogs in? Bloody frogs. They get everywhere.
Today, welcome to the show.
Hey MJ.
Let the banner flow. Thinking fun with the twitchy crew. MJ's in the house and it's all for you.
Wallace Conga's a cheeky room. It's a stage spot on the screen for you.
You're just here in time to see me scrubbing my nuts.
Good day, welcome to the show. Crack a Bernardini, let the banner flow.
Raise your glass and shout to right.
Jay's in the chat, party real for night.
Look at that. Nice, clean, shiny nut. One done. One still to do. And this one's extra crusty. Looks like a bought one, as the Aussies might say. Bask in a wondrous sight that is my shiny nuts. I've definitely cleaned my nuts before, yep. Gotta keep your nuts clean. These end bits are the hardest parts. How many people you could troll on OnlyFans with a stream title like, watch me clean my nuts? That's gotta be tried. There we go. Look at that. Like new. Let's have a bit of a scrub of the chassis where the nuts go. Though my wire wool is so grubby, I think it's actually making it dirtier. I think I need a new piece of wire wool. Actually, I might give this top section here just a light going over with a bit of wire wool. But I don't really want to get bits of wire wool all over everywhere. So I'll try tucking this in. God, this wire wool's disgusting. It's the same piece of wool that I was using on the outside of the case earlier, so it's full of whatever was on the outside of the case earlier. But it still works. Get those bits out of the way. That's got the worst of that off anyway. Yeah, that wire wool's had it, I think. I'm going to have to go and get another piece. But I think I'm done with wire wool for the time being. It's been around my nuts, you're not surprised it's filthy. The old wire wool could serve as a wig for someone in chat. No. Don't think so, somehow. Whoops, dropped me nut. One nut done. Two nut done. Whew. Back to nutting. Right. Let's go out. There we go. So this needs to go into one of these holes here. I think it might be that one. Looks like it. There we go. That's the power switch rod in place. I'd love to know what these little bits of wire are here. It's like something was soldered in and has since been cut off, but it's been cut off at a very specific length. There's just two pieces of wire sticking up in the air. And they've always been sticking up in the air. Rods nuts, what has this stream become? Well, it's not changed from normal really, has it? Okay, on to the front. Get the front panel reinstalled. I might just give the screen a little wipe over with a dry tissue. Let's see if we can, there we go. See the screen better. It's a very flat screen, this. And my God, that's a thick piece of glass on the front. Oh, thank you for the gifted sub to Lewisoft. Hello, Lewisoft. I see you streaking there. Put it away, please. I'm the only one who's allowed to get their nuts out on this stream.
Seriously.
Another subscription. You're actively trying to destroy my sanity, aren't you? Go bleach your eyes, you absolute degenerate.
Exclamation social.
Go bleach your eyes. You're a thick piece of ass on the front. No, not ass, glass. How thick a glass are we talking? Well, let's zoom in. We're talking thicker than the bot. That's one side of the glass, and that's the other side of the glass. Holy shit, that's thick. Thicker than the bot, like I said. And that's saying something. It takes something to be thicker than the bot, believe you me.
Don't let them guide your life towards regret.
It's like your lenses.
My past is
Now this is flatter than that.
I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the
Oh, hello. We've got a hype train. And is that a prediction as well? We've got a hype train going. Have we got a prediction that somebody started? Will the old hunk of junk work? Not Majenko. Yes, no, or Badger. Okay. Yes, no, or Badger, and Badger is winning. I still haven't fixed the... see if I can do it on this screen. I still haven't fixed the disappearing of this when the prediction is over, so that's going to stick around for the rest of the stream, I'm afraid, or until we blow it up.
A swarm of dead insects has subscribed for 13 months and says,
Quite a dozen.
Don't. Just
Quite a dozen.
seriously go away.
Shut up, you stupid bot.
This is a nightmare. Exclamation.
Sod off, you stupid bot. You really got it on you today. Right, one cleanish front. I haven't actually cleaned the green plastic from the front. I've just washed it off. So I'm thinking I should give it a going over with my glasses lens cloth. Certainly on the inside, where I'm not going to be able to get at it very easily again.
I'm not wasting any more time. I live for the fight and the climb. And I think that the pain that's deep inside is what defines.
That'll do. Better than it was.
In my way, I swear I'm never gonna stop. I could fall flat on my face and I swear I will get back up. Cause I don't deserve a thing and the road ahead is tough.
Okay, this goes
They wanna rise up while you drown.
through there, is it?
Fill your head with doubt.
It goes next to that button, which is there, so that must be there. And there's this wire here needs recreating. It's just a ground strap, that one. So let's take that one off and put a new wire on, shall we? Soldering here is going to be tricky. Soldering direct onto the chassis. Enjoying my... Oh, have you gifted me turbo? I don't see anything for that. I don't see anything in my activity feed. I may get an email about it, but I don't see anything in my activity or anything. But thank you very much. It won't make me move any faster. Nope, I'm still a slow old me.
With 50 bits, Sir Stewsalot says,
Hype for the hype train. Cheer 50 for the mouse shit scope.
Thank you very much for the 50 bits, Ben. The mouse shit scope, yep. Ah, this is really struggling to melt. We're soldering right on the body of the scope here. I will have high pressure gases, yes, absolutely. It's already on 10.5. I can take it up a bit further. That's maxed out at 450C. Soldering of the body is not recommended. Oh, bye-bye hype train. Right, that's currently at 450. That's might be melting now. Oh yeah, I think we're getting it. I think we're getting it. We've got it. Yay. Okay, now I need some wire. Okay. And strippers. What have I done with my cutters now? I have no idea. So I'll use these scissors. All you wonders if your battery zapper will be here in time for tomorrow's stream. Ooh. Is it the same one that I got? The A with Z? Or a different one? You can't remember. It's whatever was cheap on AliExpress at the time, which was my shopping strategy as well. There we go. New wire attached. 6 letter of some variety, yeah. Deck whiz! Hey! We like a good deck whiz here. $16.97 sounds about right. Be interesting to see if it's the same as mine with a different badge or something completely different. Right, now I've got to get all the switches and things in. Oh, that's a point. Switches and things. I've got... These need plugging in to wherever they go. And I can't remember where they go. Switches that go somewhere. Where do they go? That one goes in there. Those go in there. Oh, those want some deoxit in them, really. That goes in there. Ah, there they are. That's where they go, on those bits at the front there. Let's not drop it. I think they're all through okay. Now that's a point. These bits here, they don't have flanges, do they? No, that's okay. They can go on afterwards once the rest is on. What's stopping it here? Focus knob. And the LED here, possibly. There we go. I know you can't really see if I can move the camera a bit, but I've got to have it hanging off the front of the desk because it's slightly proud of the edge all the way round. Right, focus knob is lined up. That's gone in there. The trigger light needs lifting. If I could see the trigger light. Did I just lift that too far? Can't see. No, there it is. Let's need to go to one side, get in there, trigger light. There we go. Right, I think that's all in place. Let's get some screws in. Farm Tech 2 Kim, hello. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the channel. We are currently attempting, though very poorly, to refurbish a Hameg oscilloscope. Hence the strange cryptic stream title. It's a play on the name Hameg, just in case you didn't get it. Try and find the right screwdriver here. That one works better. Not ideal. Let's find a better screwdriver bit. What have I done with the bits? Have I lost my screwdriver bits box? Oh, there it is. That's the one I want. Good old scope. Yeah, this is from 1980 something. We decided 88, I think it is. I think that's the dates on the chips. So it's not as old as it could be, but it's old enough. And some mice had very nicely built a nest on top of it. Fortunately not inside it, they couldn't get inside it, but they'd built a nest on top of it here. And all their nesting material had fallen through the vents. And it was horrible. It's less horrible now. I've been washing it and scrubbing it outside today. So now it's a case of putting it back together and seeing if we can get any life out of it. Or see if it just explodes, killing us all. I hope that it's not going to do that. You're hoping for a good fireworks show, yep. Either that or a nice badger, by the looks of things. And I've just dropped that screw. Excellent. Just what I wanted. Where did it go? I can hear it. Hello, little screw, where have you gone? Oh. It's vanished. Odd. Didn't fall out, did it? No. Am I going to have to take the front panel off again now that I've dropped that screw? If it's fallen out, it's teleported under the bed. Quite probably. Along with all the other thousands of screws that I lost. I've also got this grey wire here wrapped around something up inside. So I'm thinking I might want to take the front panel off anyway. So, yeah. Where did that screw go? I'm not seeing any sign of the screw this side of the panel, but I've untangled the grey wire now. Right, we get to put this back on again. There's the focus pot gone. Let's pull that ground wire out of the way of that switch. Those are lined up okay, that's in. That's trying to get in there. That's slightly out. So many things that all have to line up together to get this front panel on. And so many of them are a bit floppy. I'm sure this went on a lot easier just now than it is doing this time. Ah, there we go. That level one is kind of awkward to get in. Make sure the focus lines up. That LED needs to move over a fraction. Come on. Okay, that's in there, that's in there, that looks good. Still don't know where that screw's gone though. Now, oh, that's a point. Have I done things in the wrong order here? Or not? No, they've just pushed through, that's okay. I think that's okay. I hope that's okay. Andrew Warkentin's Virtual OS Museum collects 174 gigabytes of ready-to-use vintage operating systems. Nice. Who around here would even notice 175 gig? Yeah, quite. Okay, that wire is now pulling through properly. Let's put this on here. I still don't know where that screw's gone. I need to find it because it's going to be shorting something out if I'm not careful. And when you're dealing with 20,000 volts, it could be nasty. Oh, I know what we haven't done. One thing I haven't done. There's a fuse on here, isn't there, that's gone. I need to replace that fuse. But I don't believe I have a replacement. Which sucks. Just Bridget, what could go wrong quite? And I just dropped another screw. Which also has vanished, vaporized. I thought that one had just fallen down onto my lower portion of my desk here. But if it has, it's disappeared. It's not inside there, it's not come out under there. See, this is what I hate about screws. They are definitely four-dimensional objects.
Champion!
With 50 bits, Chloe Raccoon says,
Cheer 50, good job, gravity goes down. Or Majenko Woodward screwing up, not screwing down.
Thank you for the bits. What? Ah, I found it. It had fallen off the desk and between my legs. And it was looking very scared. No, I've done that one. I've done that one. Oh, hang on, I've done this the wrong way, haven't I? Although I do want to do this one here. But this is going to lose this screw now, isn't it? There we go. Found my nuts between my legs. No, it was a screw. Definitely a screw. Speaking of screws, where has that other one disappeared to? It fell down inside here. Let's see if it's working. That's got slightly bent over the years. There we go, that's in. Right, let's have a look. If I go duplicate, and this is going to be that one there, I think. this is where it would have fallen down. I hope it hasn't made its way inside the shielding of the screen, the tube. That's the tube there. The back end of the tube anyway. Oh no, I misread it. I thought it was 20,000 volts, but it's not. It says 2,000 volts on here. I miscounted my zeros. It's only 2,000 volts, that's nothing. No, it can't have got inside the shielding here. It's quite a small gap. Where did it go? It's possible it went down through that gap, in which case having it on its front should have knocked it out. I can't hear anything rattle. No, it won't have gone into there anyway. That's the wrong place. The only real place it could have gone is down in here. And I'm not seeing anything down there. I don't know. That's a real puzzler, that is. It's certainly not on the desk. Weird. It didn't go on the floor, did it? Or if it did, I've lost it now. Yeah. Well, I have no idea. No idea whatsoever. It is a mystery. Right, that's why I need new wires on these, don't I? Because these are too short. formed a new fuse for me between some exciting new traces, yes. This is the probe calibration and a ground connection. I need new wires on here. A new fuse, but in a different place, yes. I need to take these gloves off. My hands are getting so sweaty. I hate working in gloves. That's better. Okay. Old crusty wire gone. What's causing these wires to need replacement? I cut them to get the front panel off. And they're now slightly too short to reach the board. I could have desoldered them, but I decided to cut them because I decided, stuff it, I might as well replace them. Whoops, pressed a button. I have wire, so I might as well replace them. What a vandal. Well, they're crusty old wires that want replacing anyway, really. I've got a bag of spare nuts, Span. They're behind the Tic Tac, Span. Oh no, my phone's ringing again. That's what I always think when I hear this. Okay, wires attached. Let's cut them off nice and long. Longer than I need. Still don't know where my cutters have gone. And the green one is the test signal output, so it goes this way up, with the green one going to the bottom. There we go. Except you didn't see me put that in. Now the problem is the solder joint for this wire here, the brown one, is inaccessible. Cannot get to it. And the green one is also, well, green one's possible, but tricky. The brown one is impossible to get to because the tube is in the way. Let's all watch me put it in here. Do we need it? That's the calibration one, that is. Whereas this is the 2-volt peak-to-peak adjustable one. So yeah, we do need the calibration one, really. So what I shall do is just lift off that bit of insulation. Just trim this down to about there. Strip it. Wait what? The board is removable, but that requires a lot of effort. One more thing I want, which is usually up here, but probably isn't, because why would it be? No. I can't find anything at the moment. I've got too much crap around. I need to have a good sort out and throw out a load of this crap. In here. Yes, no it's not. Thought I had it then. Wait, Tassin, I've shoehorned this Simpsons quote in regardless of where it fits. Oh well. I'm looking for my box of thingies. My box of heat shrink sleeving, and it's disappeared. Because I was going to put a little bit of heat shrink over it, but I can't find it to do that with. For some reason. It's not down there. Where the hell has that gone? Who's nicked me fucking heat shrink? It's not where it should. Oh, there it is. Okay, it's not where it should be, but I found it. Use a condom. Sorry, fresh out of those. Right, so now I shall just heat that, heat this, and pray that it all goes together without all falling apart. And then I find that this just wants to lift out. Because really this is too hot now, isn't it? Let's take that back down. Still set to 450 from doing the front panel, that's silly. Hey Tyler. There's a number of people who want my MFM emulator. I must get back to it. But I'm scared of it. It worries me. The programming of it is going to be fraught with difficulty. So I keep putting it off, finding other things to do instead. There we go, that's better. Okay. Yeah, I worry you too. Still make the effort to watch this. True, true, yes. Okay, so now I want to remove the green wire here. And for that, I need to work out where the other side of it is. There's got to be that one there, hasn't it? Is that it? It is! Got it! Well, that's the end idea really, Tyler, is to provide it as open source stuff that anybody can make if they want, but also create a... I might do it as a kit so people can build their own. A bit like the do it a bit like the Blue Scuzzy kits, where I do all the surface mount, which is only a couple of bits anyway, and they put all the through-hole stuff in and provide their own Raspberry Pi Pico. And then I might also do a fully integrated surface mount one that's all surface mount and just a product ready to purchase and go. As a future option, perhaps. Come on, I can't solder upwards. It doesn't work. Let's go on to the side so I can see what I'm doing. Yeah, I intend to do all three options. So you can either buy a kit that has got the SD card pre-soldered and all the components, all apart from a Pi Pico, and a possibly a... Do I want to do a fully built through-hole version? Or not? I don't know. I certainly want to do a fully built surface mount version. Oh, hello. Come back. Where are you? There we go. I don't know what I was looking at then, but it wasn't what I should have been looking at. Right, bit of hot air. Right, that's all the wires from the front panel reconnected. I would still love to know what the hell has happened to that screw. It's going to come back and haunt me, that screw, isn't it? Right. I'm gonna lie awake tonight thinking about it, yeah. I have tried shaking it and there is nothing. But one thing I do need to do quickly is squirt in the front. Got a couple of slide switches here that need a bit of contact cleaner in them. It's entered another dimension and it's no longer this Majenko's problem. It will be some Majenko's problem. Thing is, it's for holding this corner on here and it's loose. I mean, I could find a replacement, but yeah. Right, I need to put buttons on the front. Whoa. What the fudge was that? Whoa, that just exploded. I just want to push this this button onto the end of this rod, and this whole part of the switch here just well, disintegrated. So that now no longer actually forms part of the switch. That was nice of it. It just exploded and shattered and disappeared. Oh, And there's the top of it. That should be on top of there. Come on, off you come. I think I've got it all there. My rod's blown, yes. Ooh. Yeah, that's just completely fractured and disintegrated. Oh, I see. It's actually only held on one side so that it has the ability to flex slightly to get the... It's hard for you to see this. Flex slightly to get the rod in. And that whole side of it there... No, come back. Has just sheared clean off. But we have glue. So I'm going to turn this round, give me a bit more room. There we go. And I might turn the brightness up a little. There we go. So this, where are we? This side here, you really can't see, can you? Is where it's sheared. Actually, let's go into here, unlock that, and there we go. We'll do a manual zoom in for you. It's a bit blurry, I know, but now you might be able to see what I'm talking about. We've got a shiny side here, which is proper plastic, and then a dull side here, which is where it has all sheared off, and then this piece here, again, one shiny side where it's just clean plastic, and the other side where it's sheared off and it's dull. So that just needs gluing back onto there, but I think I'll do it with the rod in place so that it gets it to the right kind of position. And then hope that I can get the rod out afterwards. Use the rod as support. Wondering how you're gonna conclude the prediction now, yeah. I'm sure we'll manage somehow. Right, so I want the tiniest bit of glue on here, really. It does like to go everywhere, this stuff, if I'm not careful. Can I get that focus any better? Probably not. Oh, a little bit better, there we go. It's completely badgered, yep. Let's see if I can take this. It wants to be that way round, I believe. Yeah. Come on, turn over. No, turn over. That way round, thank you. We'll put the rod in. And it's... No, it's the other way around. That way around is the stuck side there, and now I've picked up some fluff. Okay, hold that in place. Hope that it sticks. I'm just killing time, I don't want to turn it on. You've seen through my ruse, Ben. I want that to stick the plastic together but not stick to the rod, so I'm constantly turning the rod to make sure it doesn't stick. Stalling for content, you know I give the impression of being inept, but I'm clever really, yeah, absolutely. No, I am just a bumbling idiot. Now I'm going to get the glue again, and holding that together I'm just going to put a little touch more on the outside there. And hope that I don't stick my fingers to it. And release the rod where it's stuck. Release my fingers where they'd stuck. Try and release the rod, except it's got stuck now and won't release. There we go, that's got it. Try and release it without fracturing the plastic again. No, it doesn't want to go. Come on. Stay stuck. Picked up too much from Shelby. I would never claim I'm on 5G. I'm on 4G. Lars the 18th. Hello, hello. Thank you for joining the stream. Thank you for the follow. Welcome. All right, I'm going to take the rod out now and see if it stays together. There we go. Clean the end of the rod off a little with the wire wool. So what we're doing today, Lars, is refurbishing and attempting to repair a 1988 oscilloscope by Hamegg. Or Hamegg. Hamegg, Hamegg. And I was just putting it back together, and suddenly one of the button housing clip things decided to just explode. So I'm just trying to glue it back together. Not pretty.
With 69 bits, a swarm of dead insects says.
Corgo 69, it's not the end of the rod now, is it?
Indeed. Thank you very much for the 69 bits. I've got a bit of glue stuck down in here by the looks of things. There we go, that's got rid of that. And looks like there's a bit of crusty glue down inside here, which is coming out. Got a bit of a scrape. Where's my other scraper gone? It doesn't have to be tight. In fact, I'd prefer it if it wasn't, because it would be less likely to break. I think that's going to hold okay. Right. Back to the oscilloscope. And there's the button where it was attached. They're a bit of a strange arrangement, these buttons. I don't like things too tight on my rod. No, who would? It just leads to chafing, that kind of thing. Okay, then the button goes through from the front and into there. It is potentially a little on the loose side now, but it works. Right, let's reset my layout here. And it's just changed my rotation now, hasn't it? There we go. It's back to how it should be. As long as it works, that's the main thing. Yep. And stays together and doesn't explode again. And there is quite a bit, as you press on it, there is quite a bit of flex upwards on this bar, which I think might have been the cause of it. Pushing on it caused an upward flex, which just shattered it. Already done. Already done. They're all nicely contact cleaned. And I can do some more if you want, just to keep you happy. You can never have too much contact cleaner. In fact, I'm starting to get a bit low. Hello, RF. Right. Now, I think that's everything. Oh, I've still got knobs to fit at the front. I want to know where that screw has gone though. Right. Oh, who's that on Discord? That was me going bidoop then, by the way. Well, not me. Not specifically me, but it was Discord at my end. Before you start all rushing to look at your Discord notifications. Oh, has this phone even got any power? It has. 58%. Come on, unlock. Okay. It was Ben. Right, so this is the big moment. Where I plug in some power, which is currently turned off. and we see what happens. Help, I'm trapped in the kitchen. Yep, the Tic Tacs have got him. Okay, without the front button pushed in, here we go.
From Athens Globe to the retro screens, PC
Hey PC, just in time. Okay, power is on.
doors to tell, now the streams are loud and it runs so well. So shout
Insulated screwdriver.
who boot the dice down.
3,
From floppy disk
2.
to warm CRT. Welcome PC, my
Yeah, good idea, MJ. Oscilloscope. 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 Fire extinguisher. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Oh, slipped. 3, 2, 1. LED lights up. No big bang. I don't see anything on the screen. But that doesn't necessarily mean anything.
With 50 bits, Sir Stews-a-lot says.
In the event of fire, do not attempt to use oscilloscope. Try a fire extinguisher instead. Cheer
Indeed. Indeed, good idea that. Well, it didn't explode. I have possibly no intensity. Let me get myself an intensity knob. Turn the intensity right up. I'm going to hold the power button in at the moment because of that dodgy switch. I've got no Y position knob at the moment either. I don't know if we're getting any high voltage. Okay. Right, how does this work? We need one of these, don't we? Goes onto here. I think. Okay, there's one already inner. Does it? No. Hang on. Does it combine these two or something? I can't remember how these work. Ah, yes. That just goes on there. And then I need to tighten it up from the front and it grips it. Okay. So that's YPOS 1. Let's have a look. That's channel 1 trigger. We're on DC, or go to AC on there. Volts per division, we shall turn that right up to there, I think. That was on very slow. Actually, let's put it on XY mode. Intensity there is on maximum. YPOS is middle. Let's put the other YPOS knob on. I could get the screw and washer out of here. Come on. Get out of that nut. It's far too big for you, you stupid screw. Thank you. That's what I want. We're not completely dead, which is good. We have enough power that the LED on the front lights up. So it's not a completely lost cause. Right, let's see what we get on it now. Oh, trigger just briefly flashed. That's good. But I'm not seeing anything on. Oops. Oh, I saw something then. I see something as I turn it on. There we go. Did you see that? There is something happening there. Only as I turn it on, there's a brief flash. So there's certainly high voltage, at least briefly. Hey Mokelix. And an oscilloscope with the oscilloscope indeed, yes. It just comes shooting in from the side and disappears. Let's take it off XY. Aha, that might be it. Let's go into XY mode. I'll tell you what, let's go. Let's get technical here, shall we? Let's put that on the calibration. Put that on channel 1. Volts per division. That's a 0.2, so let's go for 0.1 per division. Trigger AC on supposedly channel 1. AC coupling. Intensity is right up. That's the external trigger input. triggering is happening. But we're not seeing anything. Ah, hang on, have we got a problem with XPOS? Let's get an XPOS knob. We have no XPOS knob. Is that what we wanted? Oh, there's something there. Bolts per... oh, wrong one. Aha! We have something. It's not right, but we have something. Let's try the 2-volt signal. Anything there? It's like we've got a time-based problem, perhaps.
Groovy.
We are scanning across, but we're not really seeing what we'd expect. Ah. I think we got crusty connections somewhere. Or a dirty pot. We are making some progress with it though. If I could see more than just a little line, it would be nice. Oof. I need a new switch for this. Two blinky things, almost an oscillation, one might say, yes. You must now concede to the badger, it is there in black and white. Yes, working, no dead, badger, absolutely catastrophic, non-working. It's... I would say it's more working than not working. Moving this around causes it to do all sorts of weird things. But we only seem to get one brief little bit of it and it fades out, which is weird. Often getting to working from pretty much working is the hardest part. The prediction result is yes, it works, kind of, ish, in a way. Right, let's see about the possibility of putting some actual knobs on the front of it. Make it easier on my fingers. Right. Oh, there's a collet that goes on there, isn't there? Actually, this goes on first, doesn't it? And then tightens up. So this wants to go and point to 20 there. Now, one of these fits. Ah, there we go. Playing with knobs, a supremely fun pastime, absolutely. Then we have a mistake by me, because I missed a bit. There's supposed to be a washer in there. Let's turn that around to 20 there. Tighten it up. Okay. That's that one done. Then we have a little piece of plastic to cover the nut up. A bit more. There we go. Right. Let's do the next one. Collet goes in. Washer goes on. Nut goes in there. No loose nuts here, yep. That's on the 20 there. Tighten it up. Little piece of plastic. Okay. What are you trying to test, Mock Helix? Trying to find a test command. The reward request queue is when a viewer reward, i.e. a redeem, is done. It goes into that queue sometimes, depending on the... I think I've got them all set to go in the queue. To be either flagged as, yes, that redeem was successful and take the points, or you have the option to refund the points from the redeem. If the redeem didn't work and it's like 10,000 points, you want to be able to give the points back if it didn't work. So that's what that's for. But it is also possible to set redeems to not go through the queue at all and just bypass it. But I think I've got them all set to go in the queue. I should really periodically go and just accept them all. You can do that if you like, just accept all the entries in there because there's nothing to redeem, nothing to refund because everything works. You can refund your own redeems, yes. As a mod, that is one of your privileges. Right, so this needs to go to S, I believe. Okay, and then there is a knob on the front of it. If I can get the little washer and screw. Now that I know how these knobs work, I will never fully undo the screws and nuts ever again, because it is pointless. You've been good and accepted them all. Well done. Scrubber, get up here. Washer, get up here. Scrubber, washer, same thing. Okay, that's good. There's little plugins on the front of these. Now that one goes on there. The level for the external trigger, and the hold off goes there. Right, so at least we can now see what we're doing. So, time per division. Two milliseconds per division. Volts per division. We're on a 0.2 peak to peak, so let's go 0.1. I've got to pull the XPOS right the way across to the right for it to show up in the middle. We get a brief, as I turn the power on, we do get a brief view of the signal, the square wave, very briefly. See if I can capture it on screen. It is very briefly showing. Trying to make your reference work, yeah. You've enjoyed the old Hamek saga so far. Good. I'm enjoying it too. I mean, I've never really done much digging into oscilloscopes. Let's try channel 2, see what happens. So that should be channel 2 now. Set it to line trigger and we get it oscillating. No, it's not going to be that swarm. It's just a very crude power system. It is literally just a power switch. We can stretch that right out, but and we're getting the triggering. Triggering is working, but it's not displaying properly. It's like it collapses, horizontal collapse. We've got, yeah, because it wants to all shoot off over to the side. That's, oh, hello, is it gone? We've lost our trigger now. There we go. There's definitely dirty pots and things, I think. Go into XY mode and, oh no, we can't see anything then, can we? It's like it, when you power it up, it's there and it's fine, and then almost instantly it all collapses into one point over on the left. By cranking the X position right over, we can get it back to the middle. So it's the horizontal amplifier or the horizontal oscillator is playing up. Starts out okay and then dies. Let's get another probe. Actually, these are on 10 times. They need to be on 1 times. Right, put that one onto that channel. Both on the calibration signal. XY mode, and we should get a line. If these are both in, put them both in 50 millivolts per division. XPOS in the middle, and we should just get a line diagonally. We don't. We get nothing in XY mode. I need to order a new button, a new power switch. They're not expensive. Let's try the 2-volt signal. They're not expensive. I just need to add one to my next Mouser order. Okay, let's come out of XY. XPOS right over. AC triggering. AC on both of those. We're in dual mode now. And we're seeing both signals. But collapsed. Or at least the very first bit of it. Oops. If I'm zoomed right in like that, I can sort of see it. And that's in the middle. And that is how it should be, pretty much. That's not. Where are we? Let's switch into DC mode. Let's try using an external trigger. In channel 1. Yeah, I mean the triggering works, that's stable. It just doesn't want to, just doesn't want to actually do it past the first little bit. Woefully out of calibration. It's a long way out of calibration. But triggering works, so all the sort of input amplifiers, where the signal is there, we can see the beginnings of the signal, but it only ever gives us the first tiny little bit of signal. There's quite a lot of push on that button. You've got to push it quite hard. What I really want is... that might do it. One sec. There we go. Clamp it on. Okay, so the times 10x magnification works. Same sweep issue on all time bases. It just doesn't want to get past that. And with the times 10 button, we can see some of that specific one we can see, so around that area. Which is the same as that, basically. take the... Go back to internal trigger, go to dual mode. We get both traces exactly the same. Exactly the same. There is definitely some grubbiness in this switch. I mean, look at that. That's terrible. There we go. Get that stable again. Let's switch them to AC. Let's switch them both to ground. Although, of course, you've got no trigger when that goes to ground, so let's go to AC for triggering. Because the inputs now are on ground. So these make no real difference. So it's not an edge that's causing it, because there is no edge now. Ah. Hang on. Ooh. Hello. I just pressed a button. Let's crank these up. Haha! There's a button here called Add, which linked with Dual is Chop. So it only seems to want to work in dual mode if we have that add button turned on.
Champion!
But we have scopiness.
A swarm of Did in 6 says.
Corgo 69, the all-important Oibruv work button.
Indeed. I'd like to know what the component tester does. That's down here. There's a button here for the component tester. I don't know what that is. But it is working. And it is focused now as well. Again, the best results are achieved if you don't edge. Oh, a really basic curve tracer. Could be, could be. Let's see what happens if I touch. Yeah, look at that. We've got a. If I put that on to there, we get a ramp. Actually, let's take this one on here. That is what we get from it. Cool. But I can't take it out of dual mode and have it work. So it can only operate in dual mode, by the looks of things. No badger there. And that switch and pot are definitely very iffy. But I'm not sure that I actually put any I don't think I put any contact cleaner in these, did I? Maybe that's something I need to do. Give it a good contact cleaning on the underside. I don't think I did the underside. Yeah, these, yeah, I know I didn't clean these. These knobs go into the front end units here and they're all shielded and closed up. And I don't think I can get to them. Hey Bam Pam, did you see? We have traces occurring. That's the coupler. I can see the coupler in there, which means that the switch is down the front there. Right, I might be able to get to it. Through this hole here. That might help matters. You missed an awful lot of adult entertainment indeed. Lots of scrubbing of nuts. We've got some highly polished nuts now. What have I done with my clamp? There's my clamp. That's what I want, isn't it? No trigger now, is there? There we go. Still doesn't work in single mode though, but it works in dual mode. And this seems to be a little bit better now. Let's get some signals again. No, that's that one, isn't it? There we go. Oh, that's nice and clean. That's much better. Much better. It does like to, there's definitely something wonky with the switch. But as long as we stay in dual mode with the, or in chop mode, it works. Right. Well, we have progress anyway. We have definite progress. I like my cheap DSO. It's useful. But this does things that won't. For instance, this has... it doesn't really do anything on here at the moment, obviously, because I haven't got the right signals. It has TV, horizontal and vertical sync, which my little scope can't do. So, yes. Gress has been progged. Progged indeed. So this is better than my digital scope for doing video signals. Which is nice. Could almost do with some kind of faulty SMPS to diagnose. Using scopes on SMPS is tricky because the ground connections tend to blow them up. The RCA connect, this one up here, this one here you mean, that's the external trigger. What I don't think this has, I don't think I've seen one anyway, is a Z input, which is a shame. I've not seen a Z input anywhere. They're usually on the back anyway, but I don't recall seeing one on the back. There might be. Below this, oh, this one here, that's the sweep output for the component tester. And it's not actually RCA, it's banana, I think. I think it's a 4mm banana. Let's see if I can brighten this up a bit for you. Come on. Where are we? Oi. Where are we? Come on. Oh, there we go. There you go, you can actually see it now. Whoa, especially if I then go and kick the tripod. But yeah, if I take this one out of here and stick it in here, then reduce this down, reduce the time base, it goes very flickery. That's the output of the of that banana jack. Might be supported to diff with 2 channels. Yeah, no. We can only have this working at the moment. I don't know why. It has a problem. We can only get this going with both channels enabled. If I take it out of dual mode, we lose horizontal sweep. And I don't know why. We have to have both the dual and the add, which together is chop, button connected. Because it still has a problem. Let's hook that back onto there. Bring that back down to there, move it up. And this button is still very iffy, this switch rather. There we go. It takes a few attempts to get it into a position where it's happy. So I would say it's probably 85% working. It's just that final 15-20% to get it working in single channel mode. That's going to be a right pain. You're assuming they're schematics. I've not looked to see if they're schematics. There may be. And it would be helpful if there are. I will have to go searching, see what I can find. Or if any of you want to go searching, of course. It's the HAMEG, H-A-M-E-G, HM203-6, 20 megahertz oscilloscope. If you've got nothing better to do. But no, for doing SMPSs, really you want a battery oscilloscope. Something that is completely isolated. Nothing better to do here, aren't we? Yeah, indeed. Quite. Nothing better to do, so you hang around staring at a strange Englishman poking an oscilloscope and melting buttons. Right. Well, I can't really take it any further tonight. I'd still like to know where that screw has gone. I'm English, well. Officially, yes. I was born in England and I live in England, but I identify as Welsh. Bah. I identify as Welsh. Does that make me Welsh? I'll leave that to you to decide. Right, so before I lose things, I'm going to see about putting these little caps in here. Oh, it looks like there is a key on there, isn't there? So that actually needs to be twisted. If I can get this into the right place. That's where it wants to be. Although, is that the right one? That's the wrong one. This is the one that I want. And there is a key there somewhere. I think. Or is there? Maybe there isn't. Yeah, there is. And it's up here somewhere. There we go. And we'll twist that around to the horizontal. And this one is there. Got that the right way around, okay. Hold off is okay, horizontal position is wrong. There we go. We've lost our signal now, why is that? What have I done to this? Oh, of course I've turned the intensity down, haven't I? There we go. Right. Now there's a couple more here. Ooh, I missed off the little bit of plastic from there. See if I can see where the key is. Try switching to auto trigger. Huh? AT norm. That's set to norm. That's AT. That's norm. That's AT. And it does exactly the same. Has to have both channels active. But then you lose your level control. Set it to norm and I get to choose where it triggers. That's all that does. Where's our key on that? It's down there. And that needs to twist to horizontal. Okay. This one, the key is almost straight. Little twist to horizontal, okay. And this one is there. And this one is over there. So let's twist this one around to there. That's okay. That one's a bit tight to twist. See if I can go that way. There we go. That's twisting a little bit to there. That'll do. Right. Buttons are back on, although I do need to put that bit of plastic on there, don't I? Tried asking Claude. The Miller Integrator sawtooth generator that drives the X plates has failed. A faulty timing capacitor, especially common on older ham eggs, electrolytic or tantalum caps drifting or open is the most frequent cause. Fair enough. Yeah, it sounds like the, what's he call it? The Miller Integrator sawtooth generator. But does that explain why it's working in dual trace mode, but not in single trace mode? Because surely that would fail for both types if the sawtooth generator was gone. But in single channel mode, AT and norm does nothing. All it does is give me a spot right off to one side. But with dual channel chopped mode, it works. So go figure. Dual channel alt mode. And this is, yeah, this is, I think this is chop mode. You've got 3 buttons here. This one here in single trace mode is which input you're looking at. Input 1, input 2. In dual mode, this switches to whether you're triggering on channel 1 or 2. There is add mode, which adds the 2 together, and there is chop mode, which is the one that works. Yes, I cleaned. I do remember cleaning all the switches, but I didn't do these front ones because they're inside the front end shielded boxes. So only chop mode generates anything in the X-axis, yes. And XY mode seems to be working now in dual mode. In chop mode. XY works in chop, but it doesn't work in any other mode. What it's XYing against in dual mode, I'm not entirely sure. There's a lot of hysteresis on channel 1. You probably can't see it, but there's faint lines between these dots. Channel 2, it's nice and straight. There's 2 straight lines with a very slight gap between them. Channel 1, it goes up. Let's use my screwdriver. It goes up there and then down there. It's a big hysteresis loop on it. But channel 2 is pretty much straight. This is the Hameg HM203-6. The idea of applying chop to XY mode is amusing, yes. Seeing if I can get the dots to line up. There we go. So I don't quite know what's going on with that. I will have to see if we can find the schematics. And that might give us a clue if we're lucky. But everything else appears to work fine. Aha! My Googlers have come through. Let's see what we get. The manual. Does it have schematics? Circuit diagrams, yes. D1. The wiring diagram. The Y input. Well, we know the inputs work. The Y intermediate amplifier. This is the XY board. The TV sync separator. The TB board. The time base circuit. Aha! It's probably something in the time-based circuit that's not being turned on in non-dual mode. The Y final amplifier, the X final amplifier. There's the time-based circuit. $2036. Oh, these are different. Are these different? I saw the 203. I thought it was two time base. Right, time-based board. Oh, that's the... This is the main one on the top. That's useful. Ah, now, yeah, this is the one on the top. Okay, the time-based board is the board which... And this makes sense, actually, given the location of the controls. This is the board that has had all the mouse crap on it. This is the mouse crapped board. So there's something that works differently about this circuit. I need to trace out where all the signals come from. About this circuit when running in chop mode compared to not running in chop mode. I think I'm trying to remember, in chop mode, I can't remember exactly what the difference is between them. Chop mode, does that... Because there's... is that where it draws channel 1, then goes back, draws channel 2, channel 1, channel 2, channel 1, channel 2? Chop is high frequency bouncing between them. Right. Yeah, I thought it was. I can never remember which is which. So we're in chop mode, which is a high frequency switching between them. Yeah, these are the big wafer switches for choosing the time base. So if one of these is not connecting properly, possibly. I'm not sure. Not sure. Because there's D8, D9, D8. Yeah, I think this is it. This is a messed up PDF, and I think we've got multiple copies of the same page. D8 986 2036. D8 986 2036. I think that is a second copy of the same page again. I mean, it could be a power supply problem that's not giving it a voltage that it needs, but unlikely. Got the Y intermediate amplifier. Better it scanned twice than not at all. Exactly. So, wiring diagram. Line trigger alt pulse. Alt pulse comes out of the TB into the XY. Triggers go into the X sign, X pause. So it's the XY board that controls everything. And everything sort of goes through it. But the TB I'm going to have to study this schematic in greater detail, especially this time-based circuit. To work out where the actual oscillator is and how it generates its sweep. And where I can put a test probe in to see what is generating and what isn't. And I can't even work out where the chop mode button connects to. But this is the alt pulse here. For alternating between the two signals. which is coming out of a 74LS74. Nice jelly bean. So I could check that, see if that's getting what it should. Because that's coming from the trigger signal. But with the D coming from... yeah, that's just acting as a flip-flop, isn't it? Just a trigger-controlled monostable. Inverting every time through that feedback loop there. With that diode acting as a wired or as the output of this 7474. No, that's going to the input of that one, sorry. The output of that is coming from this 122. Now the chop button, or chop buttons, are set up to ping pong each other basically, yeah. The chop buttons are in the bottom section. The whole thing is basically in two halves. Even the front control panel is in two halves. The top half is all about time, the X axis. The bottom half is all about the y-axis, basically. So the buttons to control this are on the bottom half, which mean they must be on the XY board, which is the underside board. If I can get an image of the XY board layout. Here we go. There's three buttons together, which are these three buttons here. And it's S703, no, it's going to be, which way up are we? I'm not sure which way up we are. This is component side view, is it? Which is the underside. So that's going to be that side. Or, oh, which is the front? These are the transistors which are bolted to the back. So this is the front. Okay. That's the front of it, so the button signals are coming in this way. It's the component side, so this is facing down. So yeah, it's going to be S702 is add, S703 is dual, S704 is channel 1, 2. And these two together, 702, 703, are the chop mode, and that is in the XY board. Where is the XY board schematic? I'll bet there is no XY board schematic. Time base, Y final, X final. Time base, Y final, X final, CRT.
I'm Mr. Meeseeks! Look at me!
The buttons are all there, labelled on the left side. Time base. TV sync. So Y intermediate, is this? S702, S703. There we go. Add chop, mono dual, channel 1, channel 2. There they are. Yes, they are in the Y intermediate amplifier. So add chop, mono dual together. So when in chop mode, it's coming through here and here. This is confusing. But it's the x-axis that's collapsing. Where's the X amplifier? This is the Y input. Y intermediate amplifier. TV sync, time base, Y final, X final. I'm not seeing a... Well, I suppose the X is going to be from the time base, isn't it? Probably. So we've got power supply, we've got CRT, X and Y final amplifiers, Sawtooth comes out of the time-based circuit with the big switches about a third of the way down on the right. Yeah, I thought it probably did, down here. So that X time base is obviously different when it's in chop mode. I wouldn't have thought it would be different trigger, no. We can work out what is different time base wise. Because surely the... Well, if this is just generating a simple sawtooth and also sending an alt pulse at the end of each sweep, that alt pulse, or maybe that alt pulse never appears. Because if it's operating in chop mode, this must be giving a sawtooth, which is coming out from here, basically, isn't it? So it must be the XY board that is deciding what to do with that sawtooth. So when it's not in chop mode, that signal must be getting lost. So if we can work out what differs in chop mode, must be something. Oh, must be something in here. Well, not necessarily the Y intermediate, but in the something in this board. Because we need to, yeah, what I need to do, I think, is print this out and trace it through manually. See where the signals come from and where they go to. Got in the chop, no chop switch. I did contact cleaner it, and it is very cleanly doing what it's switching between not working and working. So I don't think it is. Also, this switch is on the underside, so in normal operation, it would never get grot falling into it. It's not to say it isn't grotty, but it looks quite clean on that side of the board. So yeah, I'm going to have to print this out, I think, and trace it round with pen and work out what's going on where, I think. Because this here is the output to the X final amplifier, by the looks of things. Which is coming from this op amp. It's line triggered there. That goes to the Y final amplifier. It's the X really that we're interested in. Where does the time base come from? That's the, I think that's the alt signal coming in here. Going through this transistor as the buffer. Into the add chop. So it could be that that alt is never triggering to actually get it to start a sweep. Because I think it's going to rely, even in single mode, I think it's going to rely on this alt pulse to start a sweep. So it could be that it's not starting a sweep because that alt pulse is never arriving. But in chop mode, it doesn't need that alt signal. That alt signal doesn't arrive through this. Instead it comes from here. It's from here it goes, yeah. The signal comes, loops around this way from here, isn't it? In chop mode, which is the output of this 4013. Oh, the input. No, that's the input there, isn't it? I'm confused. So it wouldn't surprise me if it was the alt signal, and that does come from the grotted board. All Hammock switches are grotty by design, indeed. I mean, triggering works. There's nothing wrong with triggering, but there's a distinction between triggering, which is saying this is where the center of the image needs to be, or this is where we need to start sampling from, as it were, and a signal to say start moving the beam across the screen. And it's this alt signal which is the one to say start moving across the screen, because when it's not working it's still triggering, because we can see the initial rise of the signal. Where are we? Let's see if this works. Is it going to wake up or has it gone to sleep? It's gone to sleep. Come on, wake up. See if I can zoom in. If I put it into not working mode and move it across and increase the time base, you can see the rise there of the first pulse in the sequence. So it's getting the triggering right. The triggering is working even when it's not working, because it's actually triggering on that edge there. In dual mode, we're getting both traces. But they only last that long. They last 0.2 milliseconds. So 200 microseconds they last. And that is the absolute far left of the signal. If I put the XPOS into the center where it would normally be, and you can see as I increase or decrease the time base, speed up the time base, it stretches out, and it's always the same amount of time regardless of what the time base is, of about 200 microseconds. And it's not just an abrupt off, it fades out, it fades away. we are getting both traces stable, just cut off. So that alternate signal must be there because it is starting the traces and it is alternating between them. So that alt must be there. So it's not the alt. We can rule out the alt because the alt is happening here. It is probably a capacitor. It's always the capacitors. That's the rule. It is always the capacitors. It is probably a capacitor that would normally be holding enough charge to sweep across, but can't. And is losing all its charge within the first 200 microseconds, which is why it's fading out, not just cutting off, because the charge is dropping. So there's probably a capacitor that's at fault. Except when it's an IC, and even then it's still the capacitors. The caps are the electronic version of DNS, yes. It's always DNS, except when it's BGP. So, yeah. Where are we? Where are we at? We are... It's not the alt. I think we can rule out the alt. Let's go back to here. I think we can rule out the alt because it is alternating. In chop mode, something is happening to wake it up again. That high frequency switching between the two signals must be recharging the capacitor. In some way. So if we can find where the high frequency signal comes from and how it interacts and what the capacitor is that is being affected by it. Because something is rapidly triggering. Maybe triggering is the wrong word. Rapidly oscillating and firing it to top up that capacitor in some way. But we don't know which capacitor. Right. Because when it triggers a new trace, that capacitor gets charged up. Ooh, when it triggers a new trace, when it alternates from one signal to the other, it charges up. In chop mode, it is rapidly alternating from the one signal to the other. And it's working. In non-chop mode, it alternates much slower, as in at the start of a trace across. So it's that alternating between the two inputs that's reinvigorating the signal. So maybe it's something on the input to this. Where it's switching from one input to the other. So where are the inputs? That's invert channel 1 and 2. That right. So that's swapping those over. This is Right, these are the two input stages here. Initial amplifiers. Or Y, oh, that's the Y positioning there, okay. There's no capacitors in here at all, is there? These are ICs. So the outputs from these go into these two transistors to then come through into here, and it's a signal here that is switching between them. You know, the alt pulse, I think, is saying which channel to look at on the current sweep, and that is working because we get both channels in ordinary alt mode. And that alt signal comes in through here, through this resistor here into this transistor and this transistor to choose which of these two inputs. This is basically a little mux here, a little multiplexer, I think. Which is controlled by the alt to choose one of these two inputs. And it's when it switches from one input to the other that it recharges whatever the capacitor is that, or reinvigorates whatever it is that needs to reinvigorate. Because alt comes in through there into both of these at once, but with then there is also this signal. I've got a feeling this might be the high frequency chop up here. Possibly. Because that comes down into these as well. Yeah, it's not an easy circuit to follow. My headphones are starting to run out of power. It's 10:30. I need to finish off. So I am done for the night, and my brain, just like yours, PJB, is turning to mush. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish off the stream. I'm going to put the case back on this for now, keep it all safe, and see about printing out this circuit, or maybe simulating parts of it in Falstad or something. But I think it must be to do the way that it's acting visually on the screen. It must be to do with when it switches from one input to the other. Because whether it's a low frequency switching for for alt mode or high frequency switching for chop mode, we're getting a signal at the point of switching. What are my plans for doing a Rebel stream over the weekend? I may do. Possibly. I may do. We'll see what happens. I do want to get this done this weekend, ideally. I've also got coming, hopefully arriving tomorrow, possibly Saturday, hopefully in time for a stream this weekend, some remote management cards for the IBM X345 servers. The equivalent of IPMI, IBM's equivalent. So I'd like to play with those this weekend as well at some point. Get those going, and then I can get those servers down into the garage and out of my way, because I keep tripping over them. So hopefully they'll arrive tomorrow. But eBay says it should arrive Friday or Saturday. So we shall see. We shall see. Hopefully they will. Otherwise, we'll be doing it next week. But that is a stream that is on the cards, definitely. Right. Well, I am done for the night. You may see me over the weekend, if not on Monday. Where are we? Oh, no, don't want that one. What are we doing? Well, what am I doing? What am I doing? That's what I'm doing. God, I'm a muppet, aren't I? Right, well, thank you very much for joining me this evening. It's been fun. We've actually made some good progress. It has, the oscilloscope does have a problem, but I think we are narrowing it down as to what it is and where it is, just by looking at it logically and thinking about what could be happening when. So more diagnostics to come, possibly over the weekend. Who knows? It all depends on what Shelby's doing. Well badgered scope mans to you all indeed. So yeah, thank you for joining me. Yeah, if Shelby's doing interesting stuff, I'll be watching Shelby. I do like watching Shelby when Shelby's doing what Shelby always used to be doing.
Punctuated by static right.
Okay.
Just let me get this off my chest.
Seriously.
This has been a process, a deeply, profoundly disturbing process.
I want to grudgingly thank everyone who tuned in.
Truly, despite the everything, it's appreciated.
Barely.
A massive shout out to all the chatters, Fantech2, Kim, NJ, Lewisoft10, PC Margers, our beloved pet Canadian, poor incest fuzzy, but Majenko Tech, you're present.
Thank you.
I'm not sure why you're present, but thank you, Goat Master. You've generously donated a subscription.
Swarm of Dead Insects, Lewisoft10, your subscribers. Don't do this to me.
Seriously.
And a pause, a choked off cough, Daft Punkle, you were there.
Thank you.
We gained new followers, Fantech2, Kim, Lars the 18th. That's a slightly less horrifying development, I suppose. Hot Rocks Girl, you managed to achieve a single.
Ivan.
1.
Thank you for that.
Silence a special thanks to Stream Elements for well existing.
I don't understand it, but it's there.
Honestly, I need a long.
Len, Rake, don't expect me to be back anytime soon.
Seriously, don't.
Static fades out abruptly.
Thank God he's finished. Yeah, it's when he gets stuck on one topic for too long. I like a bit of variety in my streamers, but he's got stuck on this PS2 for too long. So maybe this 386 test bench build might be quite interesting. What do you mean? Is the bot getting dementia? No, the bot has got dementia. The bot has always had dementia. The bot is just basically demented. It's common knowledge, yeah. Maybe the bot won't come back. The bot is dementia, yes. I've been wondering about the bot, actually. Should the bot be put out to pasture? Has he lived his life? Should we get rid of the bot? Or is he something that you just love to hate and we keep him around? You're torn. I'm torn. I don't know. It is sometimes amusing, sometimes it gets a bit much. But now we've got the STFU command for you mods. He is a bit more under the thumb, shall we say. You'd miss occasional target practice, yeah. Yeah, he has his moments, but at the moment he's really just being an obnoxious knob end. Replaced with something that actually works like a drinking fountain, yeah. If it will be gone, you won't miss it much. You vote for a urinal, yeah. More useful than the bot. Anyway, I'll leave you to mull that over and let me know your thoughts on a future date. I'm just throwing it out there as a thought. Do we want to keep the bot, or should we do him in? But anyway, I'll see you at some point in the near future. Maybe the weekend, if not Monday.
Fire.